Ooh, look what I got today. Rat. The Atlantic years from 1984 to 1991. We're going to look and see what's inside this little puppy right after this.
Welcome to Eric's React and Review. Music, comic books, movie trailers, toys, and more. Please hit subscribe.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Thank you, everyone, for being in the audience there and joining me on this nice little unboxing. I got this in the mail today. Finally got it. It's the Atlantic years. It's Rat. Everyone know who Rat is? Remember Rat? Real round and round. And what's the other song? You think you're tough. My favorite is You're in love. I love that riff, man. That very beginning riff. Yeah, so we're gonna look at what's inside. Check it out. It's nice and thick. This is the vinyl box set of the Atlantic years. I haven't opened it. I did open it just to take the hype sticker and put it on the inside lid, and then there was like a back flap that showed everything that was in it. So I kind of put that in inside as well. The one thing I like about some box sets, or most of them, they come with that back flap that when you go to take the plastic off, and it falls off and gets all bent up and stuff. But this one I was able to keep straight, and I put it in the box. So yeah, we're gonna take a look inside. It looks like there's supposed to be some pretty good stuff in here. There's like 5 albums, 5 studio albums. Look, so we get a little sneak peek of what's in there. Now here's the thing about Ratt. They were like one of my all-time favorite bands. I mean, obviously from the '80s. I grew up in that era. I was a teenager in the '80s. Best era. If you were a teenager in the '80s, you had the time of your life. I mean, you had Motley Crue, you had Ratt, you had Twisted Sister, Wasp, Slayer, and all the when the more extreme, heavier stuff like Celtic Frost or Celtic Frost. I always say Celtic because it's Boston Celtics. Plus, it's the Western way to say it. Anyway, yeah, so you had all those bands, and it was just a very exciting time. You had the PMRC trying to ban stuff, and D. Snyder, Frank Zappa, and all them going to war for us, basically to stop them from basically banning heavy metal. They kind of backfired on them. If you recall, if you don't recall, then go on YouTube and check out some of the clips of what happened with that whole PMRC thing. They said, okay, well, we're gonna have to put warning stickers, and all that did was especially with bands like Two Live Crew, the rap band, it was just very outrageous and naughty, very naughty with their lyrics, but putting those warning stickers on records, it just made things sell even more because it's obviously made you want it more. But yeah, look at this. It's really nice. I love the packaging on it. So when it came to Rat, the first 3 albums, which is obviously with the first album, the EP, which ain't in here, that's great as well. One of the very first songs I learned on guitar was "You Think You're Tough." I had a friend in high school teach it to me, and our band had just started. We were playing out some barn or whatever, like maybe 20 people showed up, and the guy that taught me the song, he was like someone I looked up to as a guitar player. He was in my same school, Rich Kimura. If you're out there, if you're watching this, yeah, man, you taught me that song, and then he goes and shows up, and he's sitting right in front watching me, and I'm like just nervous, and I'm like shaking as I'm playing that riff and going into the solo, which I had no idea what I was doing. But yeah, it was so Rat was definitely one of the first songs I've learned on the guitar. Second concert I've ever been to. So 1984 was a very special year for me because I got to see Ozzy first, which was sometime in March. And then I got to see Rat on August 11th in Fresno at the Selland Arena. And they had a Fastway open up. So, and also had the band Bronze, which I couldn't remember their name. I looked it up online. So I always forgot what their name was. I know it was something to do with a gold or mineral or something like that. I thought it was, but it's Bronze was the name of the band, I believe. And, which I don't remember. Like, it was like, I'm in high school. I didn't smoke pot at the time. I maybe tried alcohol at the time. I was kind of a nerd. But I remember just sitting in the audience for Rat and, all this contact smoke, from people getting stoned next to me. And then the next day I go to school and we had band pictures, I believe. And I think it was that day after. I can't remember. It might have been all I remember is like when I took my band pictures, I had my Rat t-shirt on. Oh no, it was about a week later. it was like I remember because I had bought a Rat T-shirt, the sleeveless kind, and I ended up putting my own studs in where the seam is or whatever, and I wore that in my school pictures. Because I remember, yeah, we had school. That's right, because school was starting back up in September, and yeah, but it's funny because my friends always made fun of me because in my picture I looked like I was stoned, but I wasn't, and I have the Rat shirt on. But I like to say, well, yeah, I came back from the concert the next day, freaking contact high, But I guess apparently it was about a month later. But yeah, so I did take my school picture with a Rat shirt on, which I'm surprised they even let me do that. But yeah, that was a great concert. So it was a good year because, like I was saying, I went to see Ozzy for the very first time. It was my first concert ever. That's what really made me want to play guitar because Jakey Lee. I saw Jakey Lee and I was like, man, I got to be that guy. I went home and begged my grandmother to give me a guitar, and the rest is history. And then I got to see Rat that year, and then a local band called Sweet Poison, which was they were like our local version of Motley Crue and Rat. They were very inspiring in helping me, get inspired to be in a band. And the guys in my school that we formed a band together, which went on later on to be called Will-O-Wisp. And we kind of made a name for ourselves, but nothing like these guys, of course. But yeah, and then later on that year, I could see Wasp open up for Crocus. I mean, so yeah, so that 1984 was just that's like my favorite year. So fast forward a little bit, Rat comes out with I think it was the Reach for the Sky. I think that's the album that had Way Cool Jr. on it. At that time I started kind of checking out a little bit. I was kind of getting into more of like I was listening to like Japanese metal bands. I was kind of starting to listen to more of the thrash and those kind of bands. And so I kind of when Way Cool Jr. came out, I remember on MTV, I wasn't kind of a big fan of the song. I was kind of like not a big fan of that bluesy kind of rock or whatever. Even though I did play a lot of that on the guitar, I did love, I love Led Zeppelin, just like any other guitar player in that time. Um, but yeah, just it wasn't that it was bad. I just was kind of checked out. It wasn't until later on I kind of go back and listen to those albums. I'm streaming them, and I actually appreciate them now. They're actually really good albums. Dancing on the Cover was like to me the last good Rat record. But Detonator, I think, is another album that's on here, in here, and then Reach for the Sky. So, I stream a little bit, and I kind of like Way Cool Jr. a lot better now, but I still haven't heard them fully. So I'm glad I have them on vinyl now because I'm going to be able to listen to them, and they're going to be kind of like new records for me to kind of see, how I feel about it now. Because if you think, I don't know if some of you are out there probably do the same thing, like stuff that was out 30 or 40 years ago that you probably didn't really care for. You're like, they don't sound as cool as they used to, or whatever. It's not as good as the last album. But then you hear it 20 years later, and you're like, damn, that's actually a damn good album. I was like that with Grim Reaper's "Rocky to Hell" when that album came out. I was like, this is kind of cheesy or whatever like that. But I'm listening to it these days. I bought it on vinyl, and it was like, damn, it's a fucking damn good record, despite the cheesy title. So let's get into what's inside. Okay. Now here there's all kinds of cool goodies. And I want to show like a little clip of Rat after we get done of Rat live, just so you guys can kind of get a taste of what they're all about. So we're gonna open up this box here. Okay. Here's the lid. Put the hype sticker in there. I don't want to put it on the box. I like to keep the box nice and clear. That's what that looks like. Okay. This was that back flip flat thing I told you about. That kind of shows everything that's in it. Ooh. So look at what we get first. Straight out of the 80s, man. Looks like a Rat bumper sticker. Is that the coolest logo? I remember watching that Stephen Piercy documentary that came out. I think it was like last year or the year before last. It was really cool. He went to his old house and they showed like his garage that they practiced in. And it looked like they had the logo, the Rat logo, like it looked like it was etched in wood or some kind of thing. But I'm just wondering, like, who designed it at the time? Looks like a very intricate logo, and I kind of like the way. I remember I saw a clip where Steven said something about he kind of got inspired by Kiss because it used to be Mickey Rat. The band was Mickey Rat, and it probably didn't have the two T's, or maybe it did, but he wanted a shortened name because Kiss is just one word and it's memorable, so. He kind of did that with Rat, and the logo is like you when you see Kiss's logo, you know exactly who it is, and so when you see Rat's logo, you know exactly who it is, and so I thought that was kind of cool. Very smart marketing there, Steven. And he's such a cool dude, man. He's such he's just got a cool swag about him and shit. Oh, check this out. I'm a wanted man. That's one song I never did figure out on guitar. I should go back and try to learn it on the guitar. I remember they played the shit out of that video on MTV back in the day. It was just like, this song again, you know. Round and Round was obviously the first video I ever seen of Ratt. You know, I didn't get to go see him in concert that same year. Yeah, the Ratt Gang. Check it out. That's cool, huh? I like that. Okay, what else do we get in this nice little box? Ooh, look at this. It's kind of cool. All Access Pass. Man, I wish I had this back in 1984. I would have been able to go see him backstage and meet the band. You think? Well, that was in 1985, though. Ooh, the Invasion of Your Privacy. I think that's my favorite Ratt album, actually. Invasion of Your Privacy. Obviously, the first album is great. Dancing on the Cover is great. And the other two I just haven't really fully listened to yet, the later albums. But I'm going to definitely listen to those later and see if I like them even more. But Invasion of Privacy, man, it's just every song is just a banger, you know. Okay, what is this? I think this is that book that they talk about. Ooh, look at that. On the Road and Behind the Scenes. Chock full of pictures. Cool. Yeah, how's that? That looks nice. Stephen Pearcy on vocals. Warren D. Martini on guitars. Robin Crosby on guitars. The late Robin Crosby. Rest in peace, Robin. He was definitely underrated. I think he didn't get the attention he should have been getting as a guitar player in Ratt. But he's definitely unforgettable. Bobby Blotzer on drums and Juan Crochet. Is it Crochet or Crochet? On the bass. He was cool too. He kind of looked like Jake Lee. I always thought Juan Crochet looked. I was like, maybe that's Jake Lee on bass because they kind of almost. I mean, I'm sure they're different nationalities. You know, because Jake's I think half Japanese and something else, and then Juan Crochet. But they just look alike. It's kind of weird. Oh, look at that on the inside. It's kind of cool. Am I doing the camera right? Okay, over here. Yeah. Pretty badass, man. Let's show a clip of Ratt live, okay? Let's check this out. He even moves like Jake Lee. Look at kind of. Like when Jake Lee left Ratt or Mickey Ratt, he stole a move or something. Look how cool Stephen Pearcy looks. He's got that cool, like. Stephen Pearcy. Bobby Blotzer. Warren D. Martini. One question. You're in trouble. Yeah. Yeah, that's a concert. I mean, that was live in Hollywood. I was trying to find live footage from Fresno, the concert I saw. That would have been cool to see. You know, like Dio, he released that album, or the Dio estate released live in Fresno, and I didn't get to see Dio because obviously my first concert was Ozzy in '84, so I missed Dio. I missed the train there, you know, as far as the metal train a year early. But yeah, it'd be cool to see the live in Fresno. Stephen Pearcy, I believe, is putting out a legacy, and that's gonna be so awesome. It's been in the works for the past couple of years, maybe. I don't know what he plans to do, and I guess it's gonna be a huge giant box set of stuff. Just tons of rare stuff, and from what I understand, yeah, that's pretty cool. And I'd love to see Ratt reunite. I know he said he would love to do it too, but he's just gonna keep doing what he does, get out there and sing and do the Ratt stuff, which is he's doing great doing that. I mean, he looks awesome still. He sings awesome still. Moves really good still. The band sounds good live. Would be cool to see a Ratt reunion, but I guess I heard like Warren DeMartini. I guess he's the one that's kind of holding it up. Maybe I don't know. Like then I heard somewhere that someone said I don't know if it was Bobby Blotzer said in an interview that they said that Warren DeMartini might be on board with it. So I don't know. Are we going to see a Ratt reunion? That'd be kind of cool. I mean, obviously without Robin, but unfortunately they can't help that because he passed away. But I think Carlos Cavazo was in the band at some point. That would be a really cool addition to the band. And yeah. If you guys reunite, come to Portland, Oregon. I'd like to see you. It'd be cool if they came in 2024. I saw them in 1984 and then come in 2024 and see them then. Or even if Stephen Pearcy, come to Portland, Oregon. Man. Oh, this is cool. So this is the single. Nobody Rides for Free. Wonder what album is this from? Oh, it's from the Point Break movie. Is that what I'm seeing there? Oh, from the motion picture Point Break. Okay. Huh. I forgot they did a song for that. Cool. Some good stuff in here. You hanging in there with me? Okay, so now we're on to the vinyl part. Just gotta take it out kind of easy here. So here is, because this is a Detonator. This is the album I haven't really listened to. Looks nice on the inside. Let's see, is it colored vinyl, I wonder? Nope, it's black. That's nice. A lot of bands are doing the colored splatter vinyl, all that stuff, I hear the sound quality on colored vinyl is not as good. I'm not someone who's like an audiophile. I probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference if something splattered or, they say picture discs don't sound as good as regular albums, but, who knows. And then we got this other album that I haven't really listened to fully. I'm going to enjoy listening to this tomorrow. And the other one, this is the one that has City to City. This is the one that has Way Cool Jr. on it. Again, I wasn't a fan of that song when it first came out. I did like that song Loose Hips or Sink Ships. I think that was a song that they had. I don't know if that's on this album. Or that might be on Dancing on the Cover. I did like that song. It was kind of cool. But cool cover on. Yeah, cool. And again, I wonder if it's black vinyl. I'm going to assume that they're all black vinyl. Yep. Cool on the inside there. There's Ratt in all their glory. Yeah. Now we're getting into the stuff I'm familiar with. Trying to take this out where it doesn't. Oh, I found something cool. Yeah, Dancing Undercover. Yeah, I really like it. So, when it first came out, we thought I forgot what song it was. I think it was like probably the first single that came out. The single that came out. And I think when we first heard it, we were like, oh, they sound like they kind of went commercial or whatever. But it was a good song. And then, I was listening to this record like about a month ago. Like, I haven't listened to it like in a long time, but I listened to it a lot back when it came out. I liked it, but listened to it about a month ago, and it sounds really fresh. It still holds up well today. It's a good record. I like it even better now than I did back then. Oh, look, I found this. Cool. Ratt and Roll. Yeah, feels like my gauge. I usually play the Dunlop Purple, I think 0.14 or whatever. That's good. It's a nice stick. I'll probably use it. Pretend I'm in the band. Okay. Yeah, that's why I got this on vinyl already, but this is another version. I got the reissue from probably like about 5 or 6 years ago. Probably. Yep, black vinyl. You'll need to look at every one because I'm pretty sure they're all black vinyl, which is cool. So yeah, like that. Then we got, last but not least, the very first full-length record out of the cellar, the one that changed the game in the 80s. This band changed the game. A lot of bands were scared of Ratt. They're like, shit, we can't go on tour with them, or they're fucking they're like, they need to like calm down because we're trying to sell our records and they're outselling everybody. Yeah, they changed the game. So what'd you think? Do you have the box set? Are you going to get out and get the box set? You know, I got mine on Amazon. It was normally $200. I was able to get it for 150. They lowered the price. A lot of times with the box sets, they come out first. They come out, you know, you pre-order for like the Kiss Creatures of the Night. I think that was like 300 when it first came out. You know, I got the CD one of that, and that was like $300 when it was first for pre-order. But then Amazon kept lowering the price and higher the price, and I got it at a lower price at like a 264 or something like that. But so yeah, so a lot of these box sets, if you kind of wait, you know, until it's almost going to be released, then you have a better shot of getting it at a little bit cheaper price. But you know, I don't mind paying the 200. I would have paid 200 no matter what. But just by the time when I look at it again, I was like, oh shit, 150. So boom, I got it right there, and it came within a day. Like so, yeah. So that was really cool. And so check out my show, The Metal Block. I have that on my channel here. Thank you for all the subscribers. If you caught my thing I did yesterday with my good buddy, my brother from another mother, Paul Merrill, went to high school with the guy and grew up together. We did the Death Net Challenge. You know, 5 levels of heat while we watched 5 metal videos that he chose. And I believe he won because he just handled it way better than I did. I mean, yeah, my stomach is still a wreck. I did not shit fire like I thought I was going to shit fire, but it was painful in the stomach area, man. Like I'm still feeling it. Yeah, so hope you enjoyed that. That was everything that's in the Ratt 1984 to 1991, the Atlantic years. Get out there and get your copy, either on CD or vinyl. I prefer vinyl. CD is always second for me. Cassette's way second for me. 8-track, no way. Those better not making a comeback. Those sucked back when they first came out. They'll suck now. Yeah, I'm not an 8-track fan. Anyway, so like I said, everyone, be kind to yourself. Be kind to everyone, but be kind to yourself, because if you're not good to yourself, you're no good to anyone else. All right, so horns up and peace out. Rat and roll. How do I stop this dang thing? Technology, you kids are always getting me.